All right. So, what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? I saw your video, the one you did with the what was that video? The video where you was talking about Tom Brady in the NFL.
Tom Brady NFL, okay.
Yeah, I seen that one. My whole thought on it, because I've been talking about it for I've been telling everybody this for months and months. I said, man, look, I said, Tom Brady, they basically tried to pin this whole Deflategate thing on Tom Brady anyway. Because I said, why the heck you go deflate footballs and you ain't even throwing the football the majority of the game. They was running the football down their throat.
That was just a whole way to come up with a controversy. The thing of it is, all the other teams was doing it too. Aaron Rodgers bragged about like how he had the ball boy deflate the ball a little when it's too cold outside so he can get a better grip. So it's been going on in the league. It just was never magnified until it's like, we caught them deflating the football. And the thing is they fixed it at halftime. Don't nobody even remember that. They fixed it at halftime. And then after they fixed it, they got beat by like 40-something points. So the deflated football didn't help the Patriots at all. It was helping the Colts. Because once they inflated the football, they got destroyed.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I remember when they said something. The reason why, because Tom Brady did the post game interview, and I said he told them exactly how he liked his football. He told them the exact level pressure that he liked the football, but they took something that he said. Like I think he did a post game interview. They took that when he said something about Rob Gronkowski. When he spiked the ball, he said, when he spikes the ball, I love it when Rob Gronkowski spikes the ball because it takes the air out of the ball.
Yep.
Like, really?
Yeah, because that's
how
that. Yeah, that's what they try to find anything on Tom because he's too good. I mean, he's 40 years old and they just traded away the future quarterback for their team because Tom is that good. They was like, look, man, this dude ain't going nowhere. We could, all right, Garoppolo, we finna let you go.
Yeah, I told my daddy as soon as they traded, I said, Tom Brady ain't going nowhere this year. He ain't finna retire back now.
Tom ain't going nowhere till he doggone somebody gonna have to sack and hurt Tom Brady out this game. Tom Brady is bred for football.
Yeah, and then I said, well, dang, if that means they gonna trade the guy, if they trade this guy, that means he's staying. Now, I don't know about the whole thing about him playing 64-5.
I don't know about that either, but all I know is Tom got control over his situation. See, the thing with Tom is when Tom, if anybody come in the way of football, they got to go. Tom ain't gonna. Nobody gonna put a foot down and tell Tom what comes first. His first baby mama tried to do that, and she was outside. She didn't get her inside voice on, and she was outside real quick.
I seen the video where you did on the Real Brothers, and y'all was talking about Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. I said, no disrespect to Tom Brady, he was a great quarterback, but his best season by far was that season he threw 50 touchdowns.
Well, yeah, that's without a doubt. He had the freak on the team. The freak gonna make your team better. Every team he been on, the quarterbacks have had their best season. Jeff George has been a journeyman everywhere he went. Had his best season when he had Randy Moss. Castle, when he threw them, they won them 11 games when Tom Brady went out because he had Randy Moss to throw to. People don't realize that. They was like, man, Castle, he came in and did great. I'm like, he had Randy Moss, he had Wes Welker. How could he mess that up?
I said, I keep explaining to my daddy, everybody talking about, oh, Randall Cunningham had one of the best seasons in his career. I was like, yeah, that's because number 84 was right there. All he had to do was throw it up.
That's all he had to do. Randall Cunningham nickname was Cash. All he had to do, he was like, throw it up, Cash, and I'm going to get it. And then when it got to the playoffs, he just acted like they put the blitz on Randall. He just was not throwing the ball up. Randy like, man, what is you doing, man? Just throw it up. I'll go get it. Come on, Cash. Just throw it up there.
Everybody talking about, well, everybody talking about like, oh, when he went to Oakland, he fell off. I said, yeah, that's because he played at Oakland with a bunch of bums.
He had a 1,000-yard season his first year in Oakland. It's just that Oakland sit there and lost games. He had a 1,000-yard season his first year in Oakland. His second year, he got hurt. That's the only reason he didn't get 1,000. See, people just don't know because it's Oakland. But the freak is the freak. When he went to New England, I already told people, I was like, wherever he go, he produce. Everybody know Randy Moss is going to get the ball, and he still got the ball. He scored 25. He was scoring 4 touchdowns a game. All Brady had to do was throw to him. He had 25 touchdowns. They had a perfect season. Nobody could beat them all season. That man, they were destroying teams.
And then I said, the only reason, and this is what I thought. I said the only reason why the New York Giants beat them in that Super Bowl is because they played them twice. They played them the first half, and they knew it's all they gonna do. They gonna throw the ball down the field. If they can't throw it down the field, they gonna throw it to Welker. If they can't throw it to Welker, they might hit Dante Stallworth. So by the time they got the game, they had their mindset on, we got to put heat on Tom Brady because he's going to hold the ball.
Yeah, well, you're right. They played the last game of the season, and they almost lost that game. And the refs helped them out, just like they helped them in the Ravens game that year. And I was like, yeah, the Ravens got screwed, and then the Giants got screwed so that they could have that perfect season. But the Giants played them pretty tough, and they knew what they could do to Tom Brady in that system. What they did was they took Wes Welker out of the game. Wes Welker was great, but they laid the wood on him, and they put the pressure and the blitz on Tom. And the offensive line broke down. They lost containment. And Chuck was everywhere.
I see the video. I think this is after Randy Moss stuff. They went to the Super Bowl again. And this is when Tom Brady threw the ball to Wes Welker, and Wes Welker dropped. You had posted the video where they said, look at all the comments that all the fans wrote about Wes Welker, where he was saying, oh, Randy Moss would have caught that ball. Oh, if Randy Moss was over here, he would have caught that. That would have never happened with Randy Moss.
Yeah. That was the truth. He would have never dropped that ball. But they didn't want to pay the freak. New England don't pay people. They feel they can replace anybody with anybody. They ain't gonna pay no real large. Tom Brady don't make that much.
Yeah, because I said, look at Deion Branch. Deion Branch at time, they double play receiver at time. He was Super Bowl MVP. What they do with him, they let him go and they traded him to Seattle.
Yep, because he wanted money. Troy Brown was the cornerback, and they turned him to wide receiver. They would milk you and nickel and dime you down the road. They are not paying no money for nobody. The only people that got that money was Gronk and that boy Alex Hernandez.
Yeah, they were talking about Butler not getting his money, but I said I already knew this pretty much gonna be a problem. They brought in Steph Gilmore, and they paid him like $65 million. I was like, what? $65 million?
Gilmore can play. That's why they see the potential in Gilmore, and he can play. It's just that he plays well in the system.
That's why
Butler proved though. Butler's small, but he proved he could play. But he's been playing. He's been playing like halfway in, halfway out, and that's what Shannon was talking about. Well, he's seeing a guy who got his money, and then y'all don't want to pay him, and he don't want a Super Bowl for y'all.
Yeah, and then I said, and I told my daddy, I knew Malcolm Butler was legit the day he basically, he didn't shut him down, but he was able to hold it on when he went up against Antonio Brown. And I said, I told my daddy, I said, he don't have to shut this man down. All he got to do is keep up with him.
Yeah.
To the point where they can't throw the ball his way.
Yeah, that's all he did. I mean, he played Brown well because he knows how Brown is. Brown is hot-headed. When he'll turn on his own team, he toxic. And that's what you've been seeing all season long. If you get him frustrated and you jamming him, he ain't getting a couple throws his way, you know, they'll try to force it to him because they want to keep him quiet. Like, man, just throw him the ball because he gonna cry if he don't get it in a little bit.
Why you think? And everybody talking about that Washington game. I told my daddy. I told him when the game was over. I said he got all those yards, but he didn't get it on Norman. He got it on Freeland.
Yep.
When he tried to catch the ball, Norman swapped the ball out of his hand. Like, I thought you got to catch him at the Norman. You gonna have to go over there. You get 2 yards over there, you ain't gonna get him over here.
Yep. Josh Norman know how to get in your head. He know all the tricks. That's how Sherman still stay around because Sherman is physical and they let him get physical with everybody.
Yep. And everybody was like, well, who do you think is the best coordinator in the league? I was like, right now, I can't say who's the best coordinator in the league. I mean, Sherman had his little time period where, you know, the inside, it's a guaranteed pick.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, I kept telling, I said, this politics really is football, period. Because I said, the year that the Steelers won, and I was like, you think about this, and I thought about this for a long time. I said, they go up against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, who's never been in the Super Bowl, who's never played the playoffs up to that point, I think. He goes in there and he just does damage to their defense. And I'm like, he's throwing the ball dead in their direction. They act like they can't see him.
So
Ike Taylor did an interview and he talked about it. He said, Aaron Rodgers threw that ball dead in my direction. That ball was hit my fingertips. I still couldn't intercept the ball. And I was like, he must have been throwing darts. He must have been throwing darts for you to not catch the ball.
Yep. So who's your NBA team?
Mine, I don't have an NBA team.
Oh, you said forget that.
But you already know my guy. You already know. I hate to bring this name up because I know you're sick and tired of hearing this name. But I basically grew up watching LeBron James all my life. I've been a fan ever since.
Oh,
I know you
no.
don't like him, and I understand why you don't. And I understand why you don't like him. And I was like, and I told my daddy this. I said, this dude that I've been talking, that I've been watching on YouTube, he right. Everything for some fucking reason. Everything he says is right. I don't get it.
I know
He's
it.
like, that man don't know what he's talking about. Like the time I told him, and I watched this video. The day you basically told the whole world, like, oh, how can y'all do this thing? Oh, Tom Brady deflated football. When you got a quarterback in Pittsburgh that's a racist.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad lost his mind. Because I always suspected it. I'm like, okay, I understand you wasn't brought up on no charges, got cleared of all charges against you. Even though you had certain big game pictures. But how in the world you was involved in 3 incidents? It didn't get in trouble for damn what? And I told my dad, I said, if that was Michael Vick, they would have crucified him.
I mean, rape, dog. I mean, that's what killed me. He was Ben Rapisburger. That's what everybody was calling him. Ben Rapisburger. He couldn't stop himself. They had to get him under control. Dude, it was like 3 cases and about 2 possibles. Like if somebody didn't intervene, he was gonna do 2 more.
Yeah, and then I said, and then I like one person I like as far as Pittsburgh is concerned. I don't know what it is about Mike Thompson. Mike Thompson, he just got a sense of urgency. It's like when they lose, he be wanting to get so bad. I see it in his face. He be wanting to be like, man, this team playing like crap today. They playing like crap.
Well, yeah, he's a real coach. He gonna get up in your face. He gonna tell you how it is. But when he don't do that for the press, but he get in the locker room, he let them have it. He don't play.
And everybody like, where did he's like, oh, where did he get this from? Why did he like this? I keep trying to tell him. I was like, and this is what I said, man, a lot of people tell you the truth. When Terry Bradshaw went on TV, he did a little interview where he was saying, I don't believe Mike Tomlin is a great head coach. I believe he's a great cheerleader. I was like, because he was so used to Bill Cowher and Chuck Noll, they honored him.
Yep.
He was God. When Mike Tomlin came in, it was like, who are you? I don't know you.
But no, that's the thing is, no, Cowher turned it over. They turned it over to him. He was always there. Mike Tomlin was always there. So that's the thing. He was there with Cowher. He was working with the D-line. He was the defensive coach. They turned the keys over to him and said, here, you run this ship.
And I think that kind of ticked off Kid Wisenhunt, because Kid Wisenhunt thought, okay, we won the Super Bowl. I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm the guy. I should be getting this job. And when he didn't get the job, that kind of made him pretty hot about that. So I said to myself,
he went to Arizona. He went to Arizona and he went up against the Steelers and he saw the difference. He had an offensive team and he ran up against a defensive minded team, and the defensive minded team took him down. It was an offensive coach versus the defensive coach.
There's two plays that I always found suspect in that game. There was one play where I guess they had stopped them from running. They was on the goal line or whatever. They had half to come over. Now all of a sudden, they show a clip of him kicking somebody's helmet. I'm like, he's supposed to be out the game for that. Knowing them, they weren't going to kick him out the game. Then that interception always looks so suspect. And I always look at that because they show like different clips from different angles. They showed one time, they were showing like the highlights of the game. They showed that play. They showed Kurt Warner looking dead at James Harrison. He was looking dead in James Harrison's direction before he snapped it. When he snapped the ball, he steps back and he throws it dead in James Harrison's direction. Like, oh, his linebacker, he's not going to catch this.
No, that's because, see, so that's what you don't understand is that the play was meant for the receiver to go to. See, that's the thing. You don't throw at the receiver. You throw at spots. That's what good quarterbacks do. They could throw the ball in a tight area, even if it's a receiver there, or even if it's a defender there. Some people can only throw to people if they're wide open, and they throw at them. They don't know how to throw the ball and put the ball in spots where the receiver can catch it in stride. That was supposed to be a slant cut. That was a slant route, which was a go route. And the thing is Harrison just jumped the route. He didn't look him off. Warner didn't look him off.
I know.
He looked right at the spot, so he wasn't even seeing Harrison. So it happens. At home, when we watch it on TV, it looked like he's just throwing right at him. Like, dude, he right in front of you. Why are you throwing that ball? He couldn't see him because he's looking right at the spot where he's got to throw the ball. And then with the helmet on, and then you got to remember, there's people in front of him, hands is moving. You know, there's so much stuff that they see that we can't see. I mean, we get to see everything. They can't see our view. So they don't really see the guy there when they throw the ball. They think he went off on a route and he'll just stay right there. Because they'll predict the coverage. And most times all the people know the coverage and they know where the spot should be. That's how Tom Brady keep winning the Super Bowl. He keep going up against the same defensive coordinator.
I keep telling my daddy, I said, I knew something was changing because my favorite NFL team at the time, I was a big Baltimore Ravens fan at the time. And I said, some funny reason, every time, it seemed like every single time. And I always felt like it was the Ravens defense. For some funny reason, every single time Tom Brady went up against the Ravens, it would be a very tough game for him. So it was a normal game. First half, they stacking him, they beat him down. First half, he come out, he's throwing darts all over the field. And I started to notice, I'm like, and I go back and I'm playing in my mind, I was like, what was he doing to this defense that had them so stuck? I'm like, he's not holding that ball anymore. He's throwing slant routes. He's waiting for that slant to get open. When he sees it, he's hitting the receiver. He's hitting them with the same pattern every time. If they can't stop it, he's gonna keep on doing it.
He'll put a tight end and to run a skinny post play for 20 yards with Gronk. Because it'll be Gronk and a linebacker to try to guard him in the post. And if you got an athletic tight end, he'll beat him in the skinny post. Skinny post is only supposed to get you maybe 6-7 yards. But if you got somebody like Gronk and you try to guard him in the skinny post, he can blast. He'll get past your running back and then knock your small cornerback to the ground. He could turn a skinny post play into a 20, 30-yard game. That's what makes Gronk so dangerous when he's there. His thing is his health. He has not been able to stay healthy at all, but yet they'll pay Gronk. They'll keep Gronk. He ain't going nowhere. They'll pay him.
I kept hearing all year. It is one dude that be on Undisputed all the time. I think his name Rob Parker.
Oh yeah, Rob Parker from Detroit. Yeah, he's from Detroit.
Yeah,
He's from the hood.
I heard him say all no Gronk, no Reed. And I was like, I guarantee when they get to the Super Bowl, they win it that Reed. Even when the game looked like it was out of reach, I said, it's Tom Brady. It ain't over. He said it's over.
And that's the thing is that Atlanta finds a way to beat themselves every time because they play stupid. They don't play situational football. When you get to a certain point, you got to play situational football. You don't run because you need to run. The time was on your side. They were playing like the clock was their enemy. They throwing the ball in 8 seconds. It's like, what you rushing for? That's why people thought it was a fix. People like, man, there's got to be a fix. Why in the world they playing it like this John Madden football? It's like, dude, why are you throwing? You shouldn't hike that ball until it's 4 seconds left on the clock. They're hiking it within like 4 seconds. They doing everything and it helped New England out.
I said, the reason why I felt New England was going to win, I said, Matt Ryan, and as much as I love Matt Ryan, I respect him as a quarterback, good quarterback. He's better than most. But I said, Matt Ryan has tendency to slip in big moments.
Oh, yeah. Matty Ice is always choked. But it's not just that. It's not.
2 years before, if you remember, in the championship game when they played San Francisco, and got sacked and hurt his shoulder, he probably would have drove him downfield. When he got sacked and he messed his shoulder up, that basically messed their whole game plan up. He couldn't throw the ball. And I said, he was the best his shoulder up. Which basically, I felt like, if you want to talk about a rigged game, that whole Super Bowl, the second half of that Super Bowl was rigged. Because how in the world you got a team that beat your brain? Y'all are finished. Y'all through. All of a sudden, click, lights go out. Like, how did that happen? That ain't never happened in Super Bowl history.
That the power went out. But you got to look at, there's a lot of things that went on in that game that shouldn't have. Like that run back for a touchdown on the kickoff, that was blocks in the back. It was complete holding. I'm like, they wanted Ray Lewis to get that championship and win. They always wanted to have the Harbaugh brothers go to the Super Bowl to play against each other. They set that whole Super Bowl up. The two Harbaugh brothers are playing against each other. The NFL, they make their thing so blatant. It's almost worse than the NBA.
Yeah.
It's so blatant.
You know what started, and I said, I always point back this. I said, this is what started. They played each other on Thanksgiving Day 1 year. Ray Lewis didn't play that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Thugs, and that's when we had Danielle and all the other dudes. They played that game, and it was a very close game. And I said, but I sat back and I thought about it. I said, it would be funny if they played each other in the Super Bowl. I wonder how that was going to turn out. And about a year or two later, they wind up playing each other in the Super Bowl, but I said, well, some funny reason I predicted this, and I knew this was going to happen. And then everybody was like, and then all the games that I watched during that Super Bowl run, the Rangers made, and a lot of people say this, that game they played against Denver was kind of suspect.
The game they played against Denver.
Yeah, the one with Joe Flacco threw the ball at the last minute. He threw a touchdown pass to Kobe Jones at the last second of the game, and it took it into overtime.
I'm trying.
At the time they had paid, that was the first year. That was the first year they got paid Manning.
Oh, okay.
The very first.
Yeah. I remember that. Yep, I remember that. The first year Peyton came in. I mean, I know the whole Super Bowl with Cam, that whole defense carried him all the way there. This dude, Peyton Manning, couldn't even throw the ball 5 yards.
And you know what the funny part was that I told my daddy this. And I said, I told you, Cam is not going to win this game. And I didn't even say it was going to be a payoff game. I didn't say that. I just knew for a fact. In the back of my mind, I said, Cam is not going to win this game.
No, they was getting away with a lot. His team let him down. My man kept dropping the ball. Tony Gwynn, or whatever, he kept dropping the ball. What's his name? Gwynn. He kept dropping everything they threw to him. And I'm like, dog, Cam had so many guys drop the ball on him in the Super Bowl. They were coming up short every time. And I was like, and them dudes was coming. And he keep getting hit. Cam is the guy. If he keep getting hit, he going to shut down. Mentally, he's going to be frustrated. He's going to shut down, and it's going to be all. He can't turn it around. He can't beat that. And that's the mental part of his game.
Yeah, and then the next season after they lost, they played them again. And everybody was talking about, oh, do you see how they let the defense just get Cam all in the head? And then I was like, why are they doing this? Then I thought about it. I said, that doggone hit him.
Of course. That's why I talked about it in my video. That's the only reason they did it. Yeah, when he walked out of that interview, he fell out of the NBA's graces. I mean, the NFL's graces. All he had to do was take it, do what he wanted to do, play the role, and that was it. What they wanted to do was have Peyton Manning go off into the sunset, and he could have been a new guy that they had. And you see the next year what they do, they let illegal shots to the head go by. Talking about some, well, he's a big guy. Like what that mean? The rule don't, in the rule book, it don't say he's a big guy. It says any shot helmet to helmet is a penalty. That's 15 yards, period.
These guys, they sell out. They don't support. I was like, dude, they put these guys on the plateau when they talk about certain stuff. So when they bring up stuff like, well, what do you think about Cam? Like, they asked Ray Lewis. What did you think Ray Lewis was going to say? You think Ray Lewis was going to say, oh, they should be taking him on there? He's like, no. If I was them, I'd hit him the same way.
I mean, that's how Ray is. I mean, Ray is a defensive player. His thing is hit somebody. That's what he taught. You know, when he played the game, that's the way the game was. But they just got hit with $1 billion lawsuit that they had to settle for all the CTE concussions and all the stuff they did to people for years. There's players dead because of all this stuff. They had to pay up billions of dollars. So now they're real cautious about this, and now they finally taking the concussion protocol serious.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all should take it serious a long time ago because they show. I think the movie concussion basically exposed right the game. The guy who I don't know the guy's name, the doctor, whoever he was, discovered it because he was trying to tell him this stuff is serious. People are actually dying behind it, man. This is not no joke.
Yeah, and he turned down everything, and he working in the medical field where he could have been a millionaire working for the White House, but he said, nah, I'd rather chill out.
But the competition keeps playing. Yeah, they did. I think people started taking it serious. I said, one guy, it took one person to die to make y'all say, okay, this is not a joke. This ain't no game. This is serious. The day Julius Sayal died of a suicide, and I was like, well, how in the world?
Well, it wasn't just Junior. Dave Durison died. It was an accumulation effect that they seeing it kick off more rapidly than any time they've ever seen it in the world. So now they like, man, this thing is for real. Like every time they think it's gonna blow over, somebody else get it and die, and then now it comes right back around. Because the NFL didn't care. You know, that's how, just like they were in the movie, they didn't care. Their whole thing is you trying to destroy the game. You trying to make the game, yeah, you trying to make it soft.
And defensive players already complaining about it. And like, it's like now, if you see over the receiver, it's a 15-yard hit.
Oh yeah, now they gotta take it serious because it ruined. It's basically changed the game of football. You can't. They so cautious about hits. Now you can't lead with, you got to lead with the shoulder. You can't lead with your head. You can't. The defender, it's so hard for the defender to even make a tackle. They suspending guys now, and it's like, man, that wasn't even his fault. The guy went down. He went low. You can't even tackle nobody high no more.
Well, his day, I think they need to quit it because now it's like,
They've modified these helmets, dude. They modified these helmets with cushion, all kind of things, aerodynamic stuff in there. The helmet got a thing now where it'll pop off, a piece will pop off, so it don't twist your neck and all kind of stuff, man. Because back then in the old days, the most thing you had to worry about was being paralyzed. Now that's not really a big thing anymore. In college, you see it happen more. If it does happen, it would be in college more than it is the pros. But
Yeah, and then
now they got state of the art ways of dealing with that now. Like they've tried, like it say the guy from Buffalo Bills, he can't play no more, but he can walk. But when before he would have been paralyzed if they didn't try that experiment. And what they would do is they freeze you. Like they put this like coolant in your neck, and what it does is it immediately freezes like your neck and makes your neck cold. It keeps the swelling down. But see, that's what happens. The swelling gets so intense it damages the vertebrae from when the impact hit. The swelling comes. So by the time you get to the hospital, it's so much damage done because of the swelling. By the time the swelling go down, it's done so much damage to your spine. So if you had that stuff that go in your neck to keep it cold and keep it frozen, it keeps the swelling from happening, and it saves your spine. And that's what they've been using.
And then to me, when it comes like certain players, teams, the NFL is so biased for a certain player. Like I'm gonna give you one example. Montez Burfict. He makes one little stupid mistake when he hit Antonio Brown. He gets suspended for 3 games. The Dominican Sue, he's been stomping on players, stepping on people's legs, hitting them late, doing all this extra stuff, pushing people on the ground, and he don't even get suspended. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Well, that was back then. Like Sue ain't really done nothing recently, but when you a player, sometimes it depends on your status quo. But he was fined and punished for his acts, but he didn't seem to clean himself up since then. So, talking about the game today, what do you think about all that's going on right now with the whole Ezekiel Elliott situation?
I think Ezekiel Elliott's being framed.
He being framed?
I'm like, you don't got no. I'm like, where's your evidence that this happened? You have a woman who interviewed the witness, and she told you herself that this woman is a liar. I talked to this woman 3 times.
Oh yeah. I mean, the case is what it is. They're not really arguing that. They're arguing the fact that there's nothing they could do about it because Roger Goodell is gonna say we don't have enough evidence, but we feel it's his personal opinion that something happened. And by that meaning, he could just suspend him for 6 games. Because the minimum, they came up with a rule after Ray Rice that the minimum penalty would be 6 games for domestic violence.
And they feel like, and I guess they feel like, if we let him go, then he'll be like, oh, you suspended Ray Rice for a whole year, but you let this guy go. You let this guy get away scot-free. And I feel like, man, just come out, and I feel like they lying about the whole case because he's had incidents prior to this.
See, all these extra incidents that he was getting into was fuel to the fire. It was fuel to the fire to make it. See, Ezekiel Elliott was a person that thought he could do whatever he wants. He's getting in bar fights. He's doing all. He had been in like 2-3 bar fights since he's been in Dallas. Like he was running amok. But the NFL wanted to get control of him to let him know, look, this is what we are not going to tolerate. You'll be out of this league before you're in it. Now, he could have appealed it and got it reduced to some like 4 games maybe, but they said, nope, 6 is the minimum. But the players agreed to this because they the one gave Roger Goodell the power. They signed the paper in Article 46 and gave him that. See, in that collective bargaining agreement, that's why they got less practices. That's why they got all these things that they wanted, less OTAs, less everything. Gave Roger Goodell the power, and they didn't think nothing of it. They said, all right, we got less practice. We got less preseason games. We got everything we want. And now they see.
Do you know what? I said, it really didn't become a problem. I say this, it didn't become a problem until the Tom Brady incident happened. When the Tom Brady incident happened, it was like, what the heck? How are you going to suspend a man for 4 games? You don't have no concrete evidence against this man.
Nope.
Every single time. And then I said, when he beat him in court the first time, I thought, yeah, he finished. Roddy Dale's done. Then I thought about it, and they say he appealed it. I was like, oh, no, I already know how this is finna go. He's finna play the whole season. Then they gonna suspend him the next season. And when they tried to suspend him the next season, I told everybody this. I said, Robert Kraft was the smartest thing he could have ever done was tell Tom Brady to take that 4 games.
Well, no, he had no choice. He had no choice. He was going to take it to Supreme Court. He just spent all this money. He couldn't do it no more. Him continuously doing this was becoming more and more of a problem due to the fact that the NFL season was getting ready to start. So now it's like you putting a distraction on the team. They need to start practicing and getting ready for the season. So you can play preseason. Right, so they let him do preseason. He did preseason. Then he went on ahead and did the season, but he was still mad about that because he's like, look, man, you ain't had a right to suspend me. But he does. Article 46 says Roger Goodell can do whatever he wants. So even if they went to Supreme Court, he's going to lose. Because in collective bargaining agreement, it states in Article 46 that the commissioner has final say. Final say.
Yeah,
so that's it.
When he took the suspicion, it was like, oh, Tom Brady's guilty. He's guilty. I was like, no, he ain't guilty. He just basically saying, I'm tired of going to court.
No, he couldn't go no more. If he'd have went to court and took it to Supreme Court, it'd have been in the middle of the season, the NFL season. They had to get right. So it was already done with. Once the last judge didn't go his way and he lost that case there, to go to Supreme Court, it's been too late. The season get ready to start. So he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna just swallow it and take the 4 games. Zeke, it's a whole different thing. This is not just deflating a football. This is some on his credibility. You know, like, man, he got to walk around with that and talk about, you know, like, hey, he's suspended for domestic violence. You know, he don't want that on his record. That's a whole different type of.
Yep, he basically telling the NFL, like, dude, I didn't do this. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, but I didn't do this.
Yeah, and the NFL is like, just take the games, man. You know, like, we can't back down. That's what the NFL is like. We in a position if we let you off for this, we will never be able to punish another player for this because they'll be like, you let Ezekiel Elliott go. Even though the police didn't even do anything. It was 2 police departments. Neither one of them pressed charges. So, I mean.
Then I said to myself, then I thought about it. I said, why did he keep on fighting this? Then I thought about it. Then they was like, oh, Jerry Jones is highly upset at the fact that they suspended Ezekiel Elliott. I said, that's where they get their money from. That's how they funded this whole thing.
Yep.
Because he's already mad. He's already mad that they tried to suspend Ezekiel Elliott, his best player on the team. And I was like, I said, he's basically upset at Roger Goodell. It's like Robert Kraft was when he found out Tom Brady was going to be suspended for 4 games. And I was like, why is he so upset? He's talking like, Robert Kraft talking like they had a conversation about this or something. Like they got to a room by themselves and they had a conversation and he must have told them something different.
Yeah, that could have happened, but the thing of it is this: there's no way Ezekiel Elliott can get off because they can't let him off. Then every time they could have let stuff die down, it couldn't die down because every time they did, he would do something stupid and get himself back in the news. He would do, he did something, he got in a bar fight. Now he got to go meet with the commissioner. Oh, he pulled this girl's top down. Now he got to go meet with the commissioner. Every week he kept doing something stupid and keeping his name in a negative light.